Chosen one, your body knows something your mind has not yet caught up to. That tightness in your chest, the sudden waves of heat, the buzzing in your spirit, the strange restlessness that doesn't match what's happening around you, these are not random sensations. It's as if your whole system is reacting to something unseen, something unspoken, something others around you can't quite feel. But heaven is asking you a question right now. Why now? Why after the cyclone? Why is your body sounding an alarm while the world is saying, it's over, everything is back to normal? This is not a glitch in your emotions. This is not just anxiety or stress. This is a signal. You did not stumble onto this message by accident. This moment was orchestrated. Heaven scheduled this collision between your physical symptoms, your spiritual sensitivity, and this exact word. This is a transmission from the divine source, and only those who are truly chosen will even recognize it. Not everyone will feel what you feel. Not everyone will sense what you sense. But you are not too sensitive. You are spiritually awake. The world thinks the cyclone was just a storm that came and went. The news cycle moved on. People called it extreme weather and returned to their routines. But your body didn't move on. Your sleep changed. Your mood shifted. Your nervous system feels like it's on high alert for no logical reason. And that, chosen one, is the first sign. Because what that cyclone shook in the natural also unlocked something in the spirit. A breach, a corridor, a wave of unseen energy and heightened warfare that only the chosen ones are truly registering. It is touching the emotional, the spiritual, and especially the physical. It's as if your body is trying to prepare you for a change no one ever explained to you, but you can feel it in your skin. You've been in battles long before this. You know what it is to cry in secret and still show up as if everything is fine. You've walked through sleepless nights, heavy thoughts, and long seasons where it felt like God was quiet while everything in your life was shaking. You've asked yourself, is something wrong with me? Why do I feel so much? Heaven is answering you now. No, something is waking in you. Your body is not betraying you, it's warning you. It's picking up the spiritual tremors of a new chapter that's being forced open in the unseen. The same shaking that tried to destabilize you is going to become the wind that lifts you. The old cycle of confusion, exhaustion, and spiritual heaviness is closing. A new cycle of clarity, discernment, and authority is being birthed in you. You are not just surviving this shift, you are being chosen as evidence. Evidence that God still protects, restores, and raises up His own in the middle of global storms. Your story will not just be about what you endured, but about how heaven used you as a living signpost that what the cyclone unleashed cannot override what God has ordained. If your spirit is vibrating with this word right now, if your body, your emotions, your atmosphere all feel like, this is me, I want you to comment 777 as an act of faith. Let heaven see your agreement. Then like, share, and subscribe as a prophetic action, a public yes to the destiny God is awakening in you. And don't leave, chosen one. Stay with me until the very end of this video, because I'm going to reveal the hidden reason your body is reacting this way, the one mistake that could cause you to miss what heaven is trying to give you, and the 3 spiritual instructions you must follow so you don't miss your destiny in this season. God's chosen ones, your body is warning you about what the cyclone unleashed. You, chosen one, the bodies of God's elect always respond before the mind understands what is unfolding. In recent days, perhaps you have felt an unexpected warmth blossoming in your chest or hands, a subtle flame igniting without reason. Perhaps a tingling sensation has coursed through your arms, legs, or the back of your head, fleeting yet undeniable. That pressure that appears suddenly and vanishes just as quickly. That quiet buzzing emanating not from outside, but from deep within you, is not random. It is a sign, a frequency, a divine signal encoded in your very cells, tuning you to a reality most cannot perceive. Psalm 139:14 reminds you, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made, and this wonder is now awakening in the quietest parts of your body." Some nights your sleep has shifted. You awaken lighter, or with dreams dense with symbolism, messages encoded by heaven itself. Appetite may have changed, pulling you toward lighter, more natural nourishment. The light may strike differently, brighter, almost too vivid. Noise may gnaw at your patience, touch may resonate more intensely. None of this indicates weakness. None of this signals illness. Rather, your body is tuning, adjusting to the new frequency unleashed since the cyclone, much like finding a hidden station on an old radio. There is static, there is a hiss, there is instability. But each flicker, each pulse, is part of the calibration. Your physical self understands first, even before your mind can catch up. John 10:27 declares, "My sheep listen to my voice. I know them, and they follow me." You are hearing, in ways that surpass reasoning, the voice of the Spirit embedded in your flesh. Yet, as these sensations come in waves, one day light, the next heavy, you may feel unsettled, unsure whether this is blessing or confusion. Ask yourself honestly, am I allowing myself to trust the messages my body carries? Will I step into the signal before I fully understand it? There is a subtle teaching here. Often the mind lags behind the spirit. Overthinking will dull perception. Listening to your sensations, honoring the signals your body whispers, is where the half-revelation begins. The spirit moves quietly, preparing you before the storm or the sunrise arrives. Your awareness of these shifts is the first gate. Clarity is awakening. What has been hidden is now visible. Opportunities that seemed elusive will soon line up with divine precision. The tingling in your hands, the sudden tightness in your chest, the bursts of lightness and heaviness, all these are markers of alignment with heavenly order. They are not threats, they are confirmations. Isaiah 60:1 declares, "Arise, shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord rises upon you." That rising has begun in your very cells, long before your circumstances adjust. Connection is the second gate. Perhaps you have felt a distance between yourself and the people you trusted. Friends faded, allies disappeared, and you questioned your path. But the isolation is not rejection, it is refinement. You are being positioned for the relationships and alliances that honor your calling, that resonate with your purpose. Proverbs 18:24 says, "One who has unreliable friends soon comes to ruin, but there is a friend who sticks closer than a brother." The body senses this alignment before the mind understands it. A subtle lightness, a quiet intuition, or even a gentle nudge tells you the right people are approaching. Your season of preparation is concluding, and covenant connections are ready to manifest. Ask yourself, who in my life truly resonates with my calling, and who must fall away so I may rise? The third gate is provision, and here is where disbelief often meets revelation. Perhaps you have felt scarcity or limitation, stretching resources, making hard choices. Now, subtle shifts in your energy, tingles in your fingers, or warmth in your chest signal that heaven is releasing abundance. Malachi 3:10 promises, "Bring the whole tithe into the storehouse, and see if I will not open the floodgates of heaven and pour out so much blessing that there will not be room enough to store it." This is not incremental change. This is divine overflow. Opportunities, connections, resources, all appearing simultaneously as if orchestrated by a hand unseen but intimately familiar with your journey. The enemy will notice. He will try to inject doubt, distraction, and delay. He will remind you of past failures, replay your insecurities, and tempt you to cling to what no longer serves you. But Romans 8:1 declares, "There is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus." Your failures are not shackles, they are stepping stones. Your hesitation is not weakness, it is the threshold. And every tremor in your body is a signal to trust what your spirit already knows. Are you willing to step through the gates despite fear? Will you trust the subtle nudges of the Spirit over the loud voices of doubt? Now, observe carefully. The half-revelation intensifies. The signs are subtle, a gentle pressure in your chest, a vibrational hum along your spine, sudden clarity in your decisions. These are not coincidences, they are the quiet drumbeat of heaven preparing you for acceleration. You cannot manufacture this timing, you cannot force these gates. You can only surrender, observe, and act in obedience. Hebrews 12:1 instructs, "Let us throw off everything that hinders, and the sin that so easily entangles. And let us run with perseverance the race marked out for us." Your body, your senses, your very intuition have been trained to respond to this race. In days to come, your awareness will sync with your reality. Every subtle cue will translate into visible alignment. Doors you never noticed will swing open. Relationships you have been praying for will arrive without effort. Resources will flow from directions you didn't expect. And through it all, your body continues to lead your mind. Trust it, celebrate it, obey it. Jeremiah 29:11 declares, "For I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you a hope and a future." This is the blueprint unfolding within and around you. You, chosen one, are now stepping into a moment where your body signals destiny, your spirit confirms truth, and heaven orchestrates fulfillment. These sensations are not random, they are the whispers of eternity, the gentle pull toward your appointed place. Are you ready to move with what your body already knows? Are you willing to step fully into the alignment that heaven has orchestrated? And will you trust that even when your mind cannot yet see, your destiny is quietly, unmistakably arriving? There is something profoundly simple yet spiritually surgical that helps you return to your body when everything inside you feels like it's shifting. Small, almost fragile gestures become anchors for the soul. A slow, intentional breath that reminds your lungs they are temples of the living God. A warm glass of water held gently in your hands, as if your palms were cradling the present moment. The quiet act of laying your hand over your chest, feeling the pulse God ordained before you were even formed, stepping barefoot onto the earth for just a few minutes so creation itself steadies your frequency, or writing down the sensations you felt throughout the day so the unseen becomes visible on the page. These simple acts are not trivial, they are grounding rituals. They help stabilize the vibration adjusting within you. They help soften the surge of spiritual electricity moving through your nervous system. They help you say to your body, "I am here with you. I am listening." But even with all of this, there is one truth you must always honor. If you experience severe pain, intense dizziness, shortness of breath, or anything that feels truly alarming, seek medical care without hesitation. Because spirituality never replaces wisdom. The supernatural does not oppose physical stewardship. A chosen one takes care of the vessel as much as the spirit within it. Scripture itself affirms this harmony. In 3 John 1-2, it is written, "Beloved, I pray that you may prosper in all things and be in health, just as your soul prospers." Your soul's awakening and your body's well-being were never meant to compete. They rise together. And as you navigate these changes, remember something deeply important. You are not alone. Many chosen ones are experiencing the same sensations, even if they never speak of them. This is the quiet thread connecting you to a global awakening, the subtle signs that heaven is synchronizing the hearts of God's elect. What you're feeling is not random. It is not too much. It is not weakness. It is initiation. Because when the body begins to respond, something deeper always follows. A second wave begins a stirring in the senses, a gentle ignition of perception that grows stronger day by day. It arrives silently, almost shy, yet impossible to ignore once it begins. This is the phase where many chosen ones mistake themselves as too sensitive, when the truth is far more prophetic. Sensitivity is the first evidence of spiritual refinement. Before the phenomenon touches the physical world around you, it touches the senses within you. Maybe you've sensed it already. You suddenly feel a presence in the room when you are completely alone, not fear, not imagination, but a spiritual awareness awakening. It's as if the air around you has gained texture, density, resonance. You can finally perceive what has always been there, but slept beneath the surface of your consciousness. Psalm 34:7 says, "The angel of the Lord encamps around those who fear him." Some chosen ones feel this truth physically before they understand it mentally. Your sense of smell may begin to detect fragrances no one else notices, a faint perfume, an unexpected sweetness in the air, the shift of a breeze that has no logical source. Your sense of hearing might change too, certain sounds becoming sharper, tiny noises suddenly revealing layers you never perceived before. Your intuition may sharpen so intensely that you know something before it happens, or sense someone's intention before they speak. You are not imagining this. You are tuning into the spiritual architecture around you. But here is where the half-revelation hook descends, quiet, mysterious, unsettling in the most holy way. Why are these senses awakening now? Why is your awareness expanding in ways you can't explain? Why does it feel like you're standing on the edge of something your mind hasn't caught up to yet? These are not questions to be resolved quickly. They are invitations, doorways, heavenly breadcrumbs leading you deeper. Your sensitivity is not random, it is designed. Your perception is not accidental, it is strategic. The cyclone didn't simply stir the atmosphere around you, it activated the frequency within you. Romans 8:16 whispers, "The Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are God's children." That testimony is not always verbal. Sometimes it's physical, sometimes it's sensory. Sometimes it's the subtle shift you feel before the future arrives. And as these senses awaken, something profound begins to happen. Discernment sharpens, alignment clarifies. The veil between worlds thins just enough for you to perceive what your old self would have missed entirely. Your body becomes the antenna. Your spirit becomes the interpreter. Your senses become the messengers. But even in this awakening, the spirit poses the deepest question of all, softly, almost imperceptibly. Are you paying attention, chosen one, or are you brushing off the signs because they don't fit the logic you were taught? This is the moment where destiny is either embraced or missed. You can ignore the signals. You can dismiss them as coincidence. You can return to the comfort of numbness, or you can do what only the chosen truly do. Lean in. In these subtle awakenings, God is not just preparing your body or your senses, He is preparing your entire destiny. You are in the pre-dawn of revelation. You are in the almost of a divine unfolding. As Proverbs 20:27 says, "The spirit of man is the lamp of the Lord." And right now, that lamp is flickering with new oil. Your body felt it first. Your senses feel it now. And soon, very soon, your path will feel it too. There is a moment in every chosen one's awakening when even the senses begin to shift, and nothing tastes, sounds, or feels the same anymore. Your palate changes first. Foods you once ate without thinking now feel heavy, draining, almost incompatible with the new frequency rising in you. Your body begins to reject anything that slows your spirit down, even if your mind hasn't realized why. You crave lighter foods, cleaner music, softer tones, purer atmospheres. It's as if your entire being is instinctively detoxing, making room for something your spirit has already detected. Jesus said in John 6:63, "The Spirit gives life, the flesh counts for nothing." And right now your body is learning to follow the rhythm of the Spirit before your logic can catch up. Your hearing begins changing too. Sounds that once faded into the background now disturb you. Noises you previously tolerated suddenly feel sharp, invasive, or overwhelming. Even the laughter or conversations of certain people may start to feel energetically abrasive. At first you question yourself. Why does this bother me so much now? Why do I suddenly feel everything so deeply? Why am I reacting to things I used to ignore? These are not signs of fragility, they are signs of tuning. Your inner frequency is rising, making you more sensitive to vibrational dissonance. Psalm 29:4 says, "The voice of the Lord is powerful, the voice of the Lord is majestic." When heaven begins speaking more loudly, everything that is not in harmony with that voice feels off-key. And then the dreams begin. Not ordinary dreams, but the kind that feel coded, symbolic scenes that replay in your mind long after you wake up. You open your eyes with the memory of colors, phrases, places, or faces that don't make sense logically, but carry a weight you cannot shake. You wake up with emotions you didn't fall asleep with. You sense meaning behind details that seem disconnected. Some nights feel like messages, others feel like warnings. And sometimes, though you can't explain how you wake up with knowledge you didn't study, clarity you didn't chase, or peace you didn't earn. Scripture shows this pattern repeatedly. In Job 33:15-16 we read, "In a dream, in a vision of the night, God speaks. He opens the ears of people and seals their instruction." You are not imagining this. Heaven is speaking. This is the stage where many chosen ones feel they are receiving something even though they cannot describe it. It feels like a download, quiet, invisible, yet undeniable. You sense preparation. You sense anticipation. You sense movement in the unseen. It's the moment where your spirit leans forward, as if sensing a shift your body has only begun to interpret. But here is the half-revelation hook, the one thing that unsettles you even more. Why is this happening to you now? Why are your senses amplifying when others around you feel nothing at all? Why does the world look the same, yet feel completely different? These questions whisper through your awareness, not to confuse you, but to usher you deeper. Because this sensitivity is not universal. It does not happen to the masses. It happens to the marked, the chosen, those whose spirits have been activated long before their minds realized they were being called. Since the cyclone, the atmosphere around the earth has shifted. The spiritual veil feels thinner, not dramatically, not theatrically, but delicately, like a curtain being lifted by a breeze no one else notices. And you are beginning to see through it, not with physical eyes, but with what Scripture calls the eyes of the heart. Ephesians 1:18 declares, "I pray that the eyes of your heart may be enlightened, in order that you may know the hope of His calling." Your heart is seeing before your logic understands why. Your perception sharpens in subtle ways. You begin sensing people's intentions without them speaking a word. You discern atmospheres the moment you enter a room. You walk into a place and feel either peace or pressure, lightness or heaviness, welcome or warning, and you don't understand how you know, only that you do. You begin to feel God's presence in unexpected moments, while washing dishes, while sitting alone in silence, while hearing a certain song, while waking in the middle of the night for no reason. And all of this stirs a quiet question within your soul. Could this be the beginning of the destiny I always felt, but could never explain? You notice that conversations feel different now. Some people drain you instantly, even if they say nothing harmful. Others make your spirit feel grounded, even if the words exchanged are simple. You feel more connected to nature, more aware of the sky, more drawn to light, more sensitive to darkness. You begin to lose appetite for chaos, drama, noise, conflict, not because you're escaping life, but because your spirit is rising above lower vibrations. Isaiah 30:21 promises, "Your ears will hear a word behind you saying, 'This is the way, walk in it.'" And right now, that guidance is becoming more precise. You may also find yourself withdrawing not out of sadness, but out of calibration. You think you're pulling back, but what you're really doing is making space. Heaven speaks more clearly in silence. Revelation flows more easily when the noise dims. And there, in the quiet, God begins aligning parts of your identity you didn't even know were fractured. What you thought was isolation is actually consecration. And perhaps the deepest inner question rises here. Am I willing to trust what I feel, even when I can't yet explain it? This question separates the awakened from the asleep, the chosen from the called, the brave from the comfortable. Because everything you're experiencing, your shifting palate, your heightened hearing, your symbolic dreams, your energetic sensitivity, is evidence of the Spirit preparing you for a destiny your body sensed long before your mind understood it. Signs, signals, whispers, impressions, each one a piece of a revelation that is still unfolding. You are not too sensitive. You are being sharpened. You are not changing randomly. You are being awakened. You are not overreacting to small things. You are reacting to the spiritual world with accuracy. The veil is thinning. Heaven is moving. And your spirit finally is responding. Some people walk through their entire lifetime completely numb to the whispers of the unseen. They feel nothing, sense nothing, notice nothing. But not you, chosen one. Something in you has always been tuned differently, as if your spirit were crafted with antennas the world doesn't understand. You don't merely observe the shift, you feel it in your body, on your skin, in the quiet architecture of your thoughts. And this happens because what is approaching does not enter the world the way storms do. It does not announce itself with thunder or lightning. It arrives through frequency. Before it touches the skies, it touches the spirit. Before it manifests in the physical, it presses gently, yet unmistakably, on those who are spiritually awake enough to feel it. What is coming does not begin outside. It begins inside you. This is why everything lately feels different, almost surreal, as if you were living suspended between two worlds, the one your eyes can see and the one your spirit is slowly remembering. You may have noticed people around you feeling strangely distant, disconnected, almost as if they were fading out of your vibrational field. You sense them slipping away, not because something is wrong with you, but because something is awakening in you. And with that awakening comes a quiet kind of solitude, the kind that leaves you wondering, why do I feel so alone even when I'm not? Why does it feel like I am stepping into a space others cannot enter? Why does God keep pulling me away from what used to feel normal? But hear this truth with your spirit. This solitude is not abandonment, it is preparation. When God is about to open your senses, He first lowers the noise around you. He removes distractions, detaches you from draining atmospheres, and creates a sacred quiet where revelation can land without interference. Jesus himself often withdrew alone to pray, as seen in Luke 5:16. But Jesus often withdrew to lonely places and prayed. Solitude is not punishment, it is God's strategy. But this tuning, this separation, this quiet rearranging is only half of the process. Because when the senses begin to awaken, something deeper stirs in the body of a chosen one. Your internal energy begins to reorganize itself in ways you cannot see but cannot deny. It is not visible in the mirror, but it is unmistakable in your inner landscape. It feels like your emotions, your breath, your instincts, even your heartbeat are shifting into a different rhythm. Everything within you begins to adjust, as though preparing for something your mind has not yet fully understood. This is why you may feel internal movement, not physical movement, but energetic movement, like your soul is rearranging furniture inside a house you've lived in for years, but never fully noticed. It is subtle yet intense, gentle yet undeniable. It is what Ezekiel described in Ezekiel 36:26. I will give you a new heart and put a new spirit within you. Heaven is updating your inner operating system. Perhaps you've noticed that your emotions have been coming in waves, unpredictable but intentional. One moment you feel a deep calm, like your chest is expanding with a peace you didn't ask for but desperately needed. The next moment you feel a pull toward isolation, a longing to retreat, to think, to sense, to interpret the things you've never paused long enough to understand. You're not unstable. You're not overreacting. You're being recalibrated. And this emotional fluctuation is actually a sign of spiritual sensitivity rising to the surface. It is often during these emotional shifts that a deeper question forms quietly in your heart. Why do I feel like something is coming even though I can't explain it? This is not sensitivity, it is discernment. A chosen one feels spiritual weather long before clouds appear. And maybe you have felt this too, a strange heaviness that lasts an hour, then disappears suddenly as though something passed through you, or a sudden burst of intuition that arrives without warning, leaving you wondering, how did I know that? Why do I sense things others overlook? Why do I feel truths that no one has spoken? This is part of the reorganization. Just as the cyclone in the physical world carried energy that shifted the atmosphere, the spiritual cyclone carries codes, frequencies, whispers of alignment, and your spirit is picking up signals others dismiss. Your inner world is rearranging because heaven is preparing to deposit something into you, something weighty, something divine, something that requires space. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing, now it springs up. Do you not perceive it?" Notice the question, do you not perceive it? Before God does it, He asks if you can feel it. Chosen one, you are perceiving it. Your spirit has already detected the shift that has not yet touched the physical realm. That's why some days you wake up feeling heavier, as if the atmosphere around you has thickened. That's why you feel surges, moments of clarity, sudden waves of tiredness, flashes of insight, pulses of restlessness. Your inner energy is forming new patterns, preparing to hold a higher vibration. And here comes the half-revelation. What your body is responding to has not even arrived yet. You're feeling the early tremors of a shift that hasn't touched the earth, but has already touched the heavenly timeline. Before it reaches the world, it reaches the chosen. Your inner senses are awakening because you are being tuned to the frequency of destiny. You are not imagining the heat in your hands. You are not imagining the pressure in your head. You are not imagining the sudden impulses to withdraw. These are responses, not reactions, responses to what heaven is ushering into your life. And perhaps the deepest question rises here. Am I ready for the version of myself that God is awakening? That is the question that separates awakening from resistance. Psalm 42:7 describes this moment perfectly. Deep calls unto deep. Something in you is answering a call from beyond your logic. Something ancient is waking up. Something long dormant is stirring. And as this reorganization continues, you will notice your thoughts changing, your emotions softening, your intuition sharpening, your spirit standing taller, even on days when your body feels exhausted. You are not between two worlds. You are transitioning into the one you were always meant to live in. This isn't instability, chosen one. It's realignment. It's the quiet shifting of spiritual plates beneath the surface, the invisible rearranging of inner structures that God only allows in those He has marked for higher things. You're not breaking, you're being rebuilt. And what feels like emotional turbulence is actually the clearing of an inner landscape that has held too much weight for too long. It's as if old emotions are being pushed out intentionally because they no longer match the frequency you are receiving now. Nothing inside you is malfunctioning, everything is adjusting. This internal reorganization mirrors the deep emotional cleansing God performs when He wants to make room for something new. Psalm 51:10 whispers this very mystery. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Before God pours in the new, He always makes space by lifting what is no longer aligned with your assignment. You begin to release memories you thought you had buried forever, moments your spirit carried quietly, traumas you learned to function around, resentments you never verbalized. They rise, not because you're going backward, but because you're being freed. And without noticing, you become lighter. But this lightness often arrives wrapped in fatigue, because reorganizing energy requires strength, not muscle, but spirit. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because your inner world is expanding, stretching, recalibrating for what's coming. Isaiah 40:29 says, "He gives strength to the weary and increases the power of the weak." Even your exhaustion is holy. It's the evidence of transformation underway. During this phase, your physical body begins to speak in ways it never has before. The heart races without any logical trigger, as if responding to signals from another realm. Your breathing deepens, almost meditatively, as though your lungs are trying to keep pace with an awakening spirit. Your eyes become more sensitive to light, as though the world suddenly carries new meaning. Your spine holds a pressure that comes and goes, like a subtle current of energy moving along ancient pathways you never knew existed. Sometimes a warm wave rises up the back of your neck or spreads across your chest, and though it may concern you at first, these are natural and sacred movements of energy redistributing itself. And here comes the half-revelation, the part that reveals just enough for your spirit to awaken, but not enough for your mind to fully predict. These sensations are not symptoms, they are signals. Signals that something is being activated in you long before it manifests around you. But there is something even more important unfolding. This internal reorganization is changing the way you interact with people. You begin to perceive intentions with uncanny clarity. Even the smallest shift in someone's energy becomes visible to you. You naturally distance yourself from heavy environments, even those you once tolerated, without being able to explain why. And when someone is draining you, you feel it in your chest, your stomach, or your breath. It's not judgment, it's perception, it's spiritual intelligence awakening. Hebrews 5:14 describes this rise in sensitivity. But solid food is for the mature, who by constant use have trained themselves to distinguish good from evil. You are not becoming too sensitive, you're becoming spiritually precise. God is tuning your spirit, so you no longer waste energy on what starves you. He's heightening your intuition, so you won't stay attached to people, places, or habits that cannot follow you into your next season. And perhaps somewhere inside you, a question has been forming. Why am I outgrowing things that once felt comfortable? But the deeper truth is this: you're not outgrowing comfort, you're outgrowing limitation. This mysterious post-cyclone phenomenon is not merely a climatic event, it is a spiritual one. The shift in atmospheric energy has stirred something in the souls of the sensitive ones, the awakened ones, the chosen ones. You feel it more because you perceive it more. You're not chosen because you're special, you're chosen because you're responsive. Sensitivity is not a burden, it is an assignment. And assignments begin in the unseen before they appear in the natural. As the reorganization continues within you, something remarkable follows. The energy inside you does not simply settle, it begins to rise. It climbs like a gentle but unstoppable flame, moving upward, illuminating chambers of the soul you haven't visited in years. You may feel inspiration returning, creativity reigniting, desires you thought were dead beginning to breathe again. You may sense that God is reviving gifts you haven't used, dreams you set aside, prayers you stopped praying. Joel 2:25 echoes this tender promise. I will restore to you the years the locusts have eaten. And yet, in the middle of all this movement, another question emerges from the deepest places within you. Why does this feel unfamiliar, even though it feels right? Because you're not returning to who you were. You're rising into who you were always meant to be. Your inner world is ascending, your discernment is sharpening, your senses are stretching toward heaven. Your energy is aligning with purpose. And every strange sensation, every wave of fatigue, every moment of unexpected sensitivity is a quiet sign whispered straight to your spirit. You are being prepared. You are stepping into a version of yourself your past could not hold. You are entering a frequency your old wounds could not survive. You are rising into destiny before destiny becomes visible. This is not the end of your transformation. It is the doorway. And that's when the physical changes begin to speak louder than your thoughts, chosen one. After your internal energy starts its silent reorganization, the physical body inevitably steps into alignment. The spiritual always moves first, and the physical follows. This is why so many chosen ones begin to notice subtle shifts that quietly intensify as the phenomenon draws nearer, shifts that you feel even before your mind has words to explain them. It's as if the body senses the arrival of something your spirit already recognizes. Some chosen ones begin to notice their skin changing, becoming more sensitive to touch, warm in certain areas, or holding a subtle glow that can't be logically explained, yet is undeniable. Others say their eyes look different, deeper, almost illuminated, as though carrying a small light behind the iris. You may have looked in the mirror recently and felt that silent shock. Why do I look like I'm becoming someone I haven't met yet? That's the half-revelation. Your spirit has stepped into the future, and your body is catching up. The tiredness also changes shape. It's not the exhaustion of overwork or sleepless nights. It's deeper, like your body is investing energy in invisible construction, building capacity for something it has not yet housed. And yet, strangely, that same body suddenly feels bursts of energy, moments when a warmth rises along your spine or chest, pushing you forward like a quiet wind from another realm. These aren't mood swings, they're upgrades. Philippians 1-6 says, "He who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion." And sometimes completion starts with discomfort. Many chosen ones report a strange fluctuation in body temperature. You might wake with heat in your hands, chest, or neck, as if holding embers under your skin, while other moments your body cools down suddenly, even in a warm environment. This temperature dance is your energy field, expanding, contracting, and adapting to a new frequency entering your atmosphere. It is the supernatural brushing against the natural, leaving fingerprints on your physical form. And perhaps deep within you, a question rises quietly. Why do I feel things my mind cannot yet interpret? Because your body is speaking a language older than thought. Your breathing begins to change too. It becomes deeper, slower, more intentional, like your body is trying to draw in more life, not just more air. Some chosen ones feel pressure in the chest, not pain, not danger, just expansion, as if the heart is stretching to hold a greater capacity for spirit. Others experience gentle tremors, especially when resting or falling asleep. These tremors are not fear, they're spiritual activation. They're the sensation of your inner frequency syncing with something coming closer, something holy. And the dreams, oh the dreams, begin to leave fingerprints on your waking form. You wake with a racing heart, or with the strange heaviness of having traveled somewhere in the night. Your spirit is not resting the way it used to. It's working, receiving, reorganizing, preparing. Psalm 16-7 says, "He instructs me in the night seasons. What looks like sleep is actually teaching. What feels like rest is actually revelation being installed." These physical changes are not punishments. They are not signs of weakness. They are not coincidences. They are responses, your body responding to what your spirit has already agreed to. They are signs that the phenomenon approaching after the cyclone is not just external. It is awakening internal dimensions, long dormant within you. Here is the half-revelation few are ready for. The body reacts before the mind understands, and the spirit understands before the body reacts. You are living in the middle of that alignment, body, soul, spirit, being tuned to a frequency you didn't choose but were chosen for. As the energy rises within you, you may notice a shift in how you feel emotions. Waves of peace wash over you for no reason at all, followed by moments where you crave solitude with an intensity you can't explain. You withdraw not because you are overwhelmed, but because God is reducing the noise around you so you can hear the signal within you. Sometimes you catch yourself wondering, why do I feel like I'm standing between worlds? Because you are. That's what awakening feels like. Your perception sharpens in ways that feel almost supernatural. You sense people's intentions instantly. You feel when a room is spiritually heavy. You know when someone is speaking truth or performing. You pick up on emotional vibrations you used to overlook. This is not paranoia. It is discernment awakening. 1 Corinthians 2:14 describes this mysterious elevation. The spiritual man discerns all things. You are stepping into that dimension now. Your body becomes a vessel of awareness. Your skin becomes an antenna. Your heartbeat becomes a drum of warning or welcome. Your intuition becomes a compass. You may feel drained around some people even if they say nothing. You may feel recharged around others even in silence. This is alignment. This is spiritual intelligence rising like a tide you can't stop. And here is a deeper truth. Chosen one only the awakened can grasp. What is happening to you is not happening to everyone. Not everyone feels the shift. Not everyone perceives the signal. Not everyone senses the rising energy. Some sleep through awakenings meant to save them. But not you. You feel it in your bones, in your breath, in your bloodstream. Isaiah 43:19 says, "See, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs up. Do you not perceive it? You perceive it because you were designed for it." All these physical changes are the body's way of preparing for what the spirit already knows. Something is approaching. Something is shifting. Something is aligning. Before it touches the earth, it touches you. Before it breaks open in the world, it awakens in the chosen. And this is still only the beginning. And when these changes intensify, when the body, the senses, and the inner frequency all rise into a higher register, something begins to happen that you cannot control, cannot predict, and cannot stop. Your very presence becomes a signal. Your field becomes a message. Your spirit becomes a frequency. And suddenly, without you saying a word, you start to attract or repel people automatically. It doesn't ask for your permission. It simply unfolds as the next phase of awakening. This is where many chosen ones begin to feel the strangest shift, not because something is wrong, but because something holy is being activated. When the physical changes begin to appear, what happens next is not physical at all. Your energy field, your spiritual atmosphere, begins to influence people around you directly, and it does so with an intelligence far beyond your conscious mind. Some people will be drawn to you as if they've known your soul for lifetimes. Others will begin to recoil, distance, or disappear, even if they once felt familiar, close, or comfortable. It's as if heaven placed a silent amplifier on your spirit. Those who are aligned with you, those who carry purity, humility, kindness, or hunger for truth, begin feeling peace simply by standing next to you. They linger in conversation, open up without meaning to, feel safe without knowing why. They seek your presence the way weary travelers seek a fireplace in winter. They sense something rising in you, even if they don't have language for it. They perceive your spirit before they perceive your personality. Psalm 34:8 whispers, "Taste and see that the Lord is good." People don't taste your character. They taste the God moving inside you. That is why they draw near. But the other side of this shift is harder to accept. People who carry density, bitterness, jealousy, hidden malice, spiritual disconnection begin to feel uncomfortable around you. They may avoid you, respond coldly, or show irritation over things that never bothered them before. Some may even lash out, accuse you, or silently withdraw. But deep underneath their behavior is a truth you eventually must face. It was never personal, it was spiritual. Proverbs 29:27 reveals this mystery clearly. The righteous and the wicked detest each other. Light disrupts darkness. Purity exposes corruption. Rising frequency irritates stagnant energy. Your new vibration shakes the dust off the hearts of others, and some people simply aren't ready to confront the parts of themselves your presence illuminates. And perhaps, in a quiet moment, the question rises inside you like a soft ache. Why do I feel out of place in places I used to love? Because the atmosphere didn't change, you did. Places once comfortable begin to feel heavy, crowded, draining. Environments you used to enjoy now feel spiritually noisy. People you once felt safe with now feel distant or mismatched. Meanwhile, strangers show you kindness, sensitivity, warmth, as if heaven sent them as confirmation that your shift is real. Hebrews 13:2 reminds us, "Some have entertained angels without knowing it. Not all who approach you are random. Some are divine placements sent to align you with your next phase." This is where the invisible magnet begins to activate. You attract what strengthens you. You repel what drains you. You pull close those who belong to your next chapter. You release those tied to your previous version. It can feel disorienting, even lonely, not because you're being abandoned, but because God is adjusting your orbit. Sometimes He separates you so He can elevate you. Sometimes He removes people not to punish you, but to protect you. And here is a deeper, half-revealed truth that many sense but few can articulate. When God prepares a chosen one for a higher dimension, He restructures their relationships. He brings closer those who will help you build, and He distances those who would have kept you small. John 15:2 reveals this divine pruning. He cuts off every branch that bears no fruit. Some bonds are breaking, not because you failed, because heaven intervened. During this phase, your discernment becomes razor sharp. You no longer need people to confess their intentions. You feel them. Someone may smile, but their energy weighs on you, and you know. Another may speak very little, but their presence feels light, clean, trustworthy, and you know. This is not suspicion. It is refinement. It is spiritual intelligence awakening. You may ask yourself quietly, why do I sense truth before it's spoken? Why do I feel a warning before anything occurs? Why do some people exhaust me instantly? Because the veil that once covered your perception is lifting. Your spiritual receptors are opening. Your inner senses are stepping into alignment with your purpose. And all these shifts, every attraction, every repulsion, every sudden closeness, every mysterious distancing, are happening because the phenomenon triggered by the cyclone is affecting the collective atmosphere. But chosen ones feel it first. They absorb the frequency sooner. They interpret it deeper. Sensitivity is not your burden, it is your calling. It is the mark of someone God has separated, refined, awakened, and positioned. Isaiah 54:17 promises, "No weapon formed against you shall prosper," and part of that protection comes through spiritual sensitivity, feeling danger before it appears, feeling divine alignment before it manifests, feeling misalignment before it becomes damage. What some call overreacting, heaven calls discernment. This stage may feel like living between two worlds, your old life echoing softly behind you while your new life whispers ahead. But do not fear the strangeness. The atmosphere around you is adjusting because the atmosphere within you is changing. God is tuning your frequency so that nothing unaligned can attach to you and nothing destined for you can miss you. And chosen one, this phase, this magnetic shift of relationships, this refining of connections is not evidence that you're losing people. It's evidence you're finding your path. And when you begin attracting and repelling people without effort, when your presence alone shifts atmospheres and your spirit sorts alignment from misalignment in silence, something far deeper is activated, something ancient, something holy, something that belongs only to those marked as God's own. A new process begins unfolding around you, almost imperceptible at first, but unmistakable once you start walking in it. The emergence of natural spiritual protection, that invisible shield wrapped around the bodies and destinies of the chosen ones. This shield is not a cinematic force field, not a lightning-filled dome or a dramatic aura others can visibly see. No, it's quieter, subtler, more intimate, and infinitely more powerful. It appears without you summoning it, without rituals, without effort. It arrives the way dawn arrives, softly, gradually, and then all at once. And when it activates, It is as if God Himself whispers over your life, "Now you are ready. Now I will take care of what you cannot see." Psalm 91:4 reveals the mystery of this covering. He will cover you with His feathers, and under His wings you will find refuge. This is the refuge wrapping around your body right now. You notice it first in small, almost hidden ways. Situations that once triggered you no longer pierce as deeply. Words that used to stab now slide off like rain on armor. People who used to drain your energy suddenly feel powerless to affect your inner peace. Environments that once felt suffocating now seem distant, softened, as if a veil has settled between you and the heaviness. It is not numbness, it is insulation. Your nervous system used to absorb everything, now it filters. Sometimes you feel gently pulled away from certain conversations or plans without knowing why. A strange discomfort rises inside you the moment you're about to step into a place that is not for you. It isn't fear. It isn't overthinking. It's spiritual protection, redirecting your path before danger even forms. How many times recently did you withdraw from something you couldn't explain, only to later discover it would have harmed you? And in those moments, did a quiet voice inside you not whisper, "This wasn't coincidence"? This is divine alignment, the invisible hand of God taking hold of the wheel you once tried to steer alone. Proverbs 3-6 confirms the pattern. "In all your ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct your paths." He has begun directing your paths without waiting for your permission, because your spirit reached a vibration where heaven now intervenes proactively. This protection manifests physically too. Some days you feel warmth resting on your back, neck, or chest, as though an unseen hand were steadying you. Other days, a profound calm washes over you in the middle of chaos, the kind of peace that makes no logical sense. The peace Philippians 4-7 describes as beyond understanding. There are moments when you crave stillness, silence, solitude, not because you are sad, but because your spirit is recalibrating while the shield around you strengthens. You are not withdrawing, you are being prepared. And then comes a truth most chosen ones learn only through experience. When this shield activates, people carrying negative, heavy, chaotic, or manipulative energies begin to feel discomfort around you. They may avoid you, act strangely, look at you with confusion, or pull away without explanation. But deep down, you sense it. Why does my presence disturb what others are hiding? Why do their masks fall in front of me? Why does my intuition see what my eyes cannot? Because your light exposes shadows they are not ready to confront. Light is not always welcomed. Light is often resisted. John 1-5 unveils this mystery. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. When your spirit rises, what is impure will retreat, not because you pushed it away, but because it cannot coexist with what God is activating inside you. Do not mourn the distance. It is divine removal, disguised as disconnection. At the same time, this protection begins attracting new, gentle, genuine souls toward you. People who approach with unexpected kindness, who show respect without knowing your story, who recognize your frequency even before they learn your name. These encounters are not random. They are placements, alignments, heaven's answer to your rise. They are sent by God to reinforce your next chapter. They appear as confirmation that your energy has shifted into a higher atmosphere. And this is where the half-revealed truth begins to unfold. Spiritual protection isn't just shielding, it is preparation. It is God rearranging your relational landscape so you can step into the next phase without sabotage, without interference, without lingering attachments to old versions of you. Some relationships end not because they were bad, but because your calling requires space. Some doors close not because you failed, but because what lies ahead is too sacred to be shared with everyone. You may feel the question rising quietly inside you. Why do I sense that something greater is pulling me forward? Why do I feel like I'm standing at the threshold of a purpose I can't name yet? Why does it feel as though the world around me is the same, but I am not? Because the moment the shield forms, the calling begins. Spiritual protection appears when destiny draws near. It appears when you are about to be elevated into an assignment you cannot afford to enter unguarded. It appears when God begins shifting you from survival into purpose, from wandering into clarity, from woundedness into authority. Isaiah 52:12 whispers the promise of this next phase. The Lord will go before you. The God of Israel will be your rear guard. This shield is not the end of the transformation, it is the beginning of the mission. And now we finally arrive at a point that so many chosen ones quietly feel pulsing beneath their skin, but almost no one has the courage to confess aloud the unmistakable sensation that something definitive is about to happen inside you. It's not fear, it's not anxiety, it's not imagination. It's the subtle vibration of a spiritual upgrade preparing itself within your very flesh, an unfolding you did not ask for, but one that heaven ordained long before you understood the calling written over your life. After everything that has taken place, the cyclone that shook the atmosphere, the abrupt shift in the collective frequency, the invisible waves moving through nature, and the human spirit, those who are truly chosen have entered a phase of transformation that can no longer be hidden, dimmed, or delayed. And strangely, beautifully, mysteriously, this phase begins not in the mind, not in the emotions, but in the body. Yes, the body, the very vessel so many overlook, dismiss, or misunderstand. Yet the truth is undeniable. Before God reveals a destiny, He prepares the temple that will carry it. Before He awakens your assignment, He awakens your senses. Before He elevates your voice, He recalibrates your vibration. 1 Corinthians 6:19 whispers this reminder. Do you not know that your bodies are temples of the Holy Spirit? And temples must be prepared before glory rests upon them. You begin to notice that you're listening differently, not with your ears, but with your spirit. Sounds seem layered, carrying meanings beneath the noise. A shift in temperature, something that once felt insignificant, now sends ripples through your entire being. A room you used to walk into without a second thought now feels dense, heavy, unsettling. And a person who used to be just another presence suddenly feels draining, as if your body itself is rejecting their frequency before your mind has time to interpret it. Your intuition rises faster than your logic. You sense the spiritual climate before you analyze the environment, and in that heightened awareness, something sacred is being revealed. Why do I feel everything so deeply? Why do I perceive what others ignore? Why does the unseen now feel louder than the seen? These questions echo inside the chosen ones, not as doubt, but as divine announcement. Because this next phase is not emotional, it is prophetic. It is the body signaling that heaven has begun activating the next layer of your calling. It is the body absorbing spiritual data before your mind has language for it. It is what Psalm 139:14 hinted at when it said you were fearfully and wonderfully made, constructed with spiritual senses that awaken when destiny draws near. And here's the half-revealed mystery most people never understand. The body always knows before the soul catches up. It feels the shift in realms before the shift manifests in reality. It reacts to the unseen before it reveals itself in the natural. It responds to spiritual currents the way a harp string vibrates to frequencies it wasn't consciously tuned to. You aren't imagining what you feel your body is hearing, heaven. So when you begin feeling that quiet stirring as you wake, that pressure behind your heart for no clear reason, that wave of stillness that interrupts your day, understand this. Something is being installed inside you, something ancient, something holy, something powerful. Luke 17:21 tells us, the kingdom of God is within you. And when that kingdom begins to rise, the vessel begins to tremble. This is why your sensitivity has increased so suddenly. This is why sleep has shifted some nights deep as if you were being rebuilt, others light and filled with symbolic dreams that follow you into the morning. This is why people around you behave differently, some drawn as if to warmth, others retreating as if your presence exposes something they would rather not confront. And still, beneath all of this, there is that one quiet question. Heaven keeps pressing into the depths of your spirit. Why does it feel like something inside me is preparing for a moment I cannot explain yet? You may not have the full answer, but your body does. It has already begun harmonizing with the frequency of your next season. For you are entering a divine threshold, a moment of awakening foretold long before the cyclone stirred the skies. The air changed, the earth shifted, energies rebalanced, and your spirit responded because chosen ones are wired to react to divine timing before the mind understands divine purpose. This is why you feel the buzzing under your skin, the warmth in your chest, the subtle tremors that come and go. This is why your appetite shifts, your emotions rise and fall like tides, your senses sharpen as though you've stepped into a world layered beyond sight. Your body is not breaking, it is birthing. Romans 8:19 reveals the secret. For the creation waits in eager expectation for the children of God to be revealed. Revelation is happening right now through you, in you, around you. And in this rising sensitivity, another quiet question emerges from the depths. Why does solitude feel like sanctuary now? Why does silence feel like instruction? Why does my spirit crave space as though something sacred is approaching? Because it is. Heaven does not upgrade the chosen ones in noise, it upgrades them in stillness. It does not transform them in crowds, but in the wilderness. It does not announce the awakening with fireworks, but with vibration soft at first, then unmistakable. And now we stand at the doorway of what comes next, the awakening of purpose, the ignition of destiny, the moment when what you feel in your body begins to manifest in your life. And that's no coincidence. The body of a chosen one becomes something far more mysterious and precise than flesh and bone. It becomes a radar, a living, breathing instrument tuned to frequencies others cannot perceive, calibrated to realms others cannot hear. And when the spiritual world wants to communicate, that radar begins to beep, not with sounds, but with sensations, pulses, shifts, waves that rise from within before your mind can translate them. That's why these recent changes in your body have been so strong, so unpredictable, so strangely prophetic. One day your body feels light, almost weightless, as if gravity loosened its grip on you. The next, your chest feels heavy, your limbs tired, your spirit stretched, as if something inside you is gathering strength for a moment not yet revealed. Some mornings you wake with a peace so deep it feels like oil poured over your soul. Other mornings you open your eyes with your heart racing, no danger around you, no threat in the room, yet something within you pulsing like a battle drum, warning you that the unseen has shifted again. This is the language of the Spirit speaking through the body. This is what Job 33:14 meant when it declared, "For God speaks again and again, though people do not recognize it. Most only look for visions, dreams, prophetic signs, but you, chosen one, feel the message before you understand the meaning." And somewhere inside you, another quiet question trembles. Why does it feel like my body knows something my mind can't articulate yet? That question is sacred, because it signals that your awakening has already begun. The radar has been activated. The frequency has been raised. The veil has been thinned. These shifts aren't random, they're alignment. They're not instability, they're recalibration. When God prepares a chosen one, he adjusts the inner world before he shifts the outer world. When heaven draws near, the body reacts before the intellect awakens. It's the same reason prophets in Scripture felt tremors, heat, burden, and trembling when the presence of God approached them. The flesh always senses the glory before the mind interprets the message. Jeremiah wrote, "His word is in my heart like a fire shut up in my bones." Jeremiah 20:9. You feel that same fire rising, even if you can't explain it. And the waves you're experiencing, peace, heaviness, calm, intensity, are not emotional fluctuations. They're spiritual data being processed through your physical vessel. Your body isn't malfunctioning, it's upgrading. It's responding to a higher realm. It's receiving signals from the unseen, warning you, guiding you, positioning you. There's a reason you're more tired some days, not a tiredness of the muscles, but of the spirit, like the fatigue of carrying something sacred, something forming, something preparing to descend into your life. There's a reason you suddenly crave silence, nature, solitude. There's a reason certain people feel too loud for your spirit now. The radar is rejecting interference. And maybe you've wondered in the dark, why do I feel so different from everyone around me? Why do I sense storms before they happen, shifts before they unfold, intentions before they are spoken? It's because your sensitivity isn't a flaw, it's evidence. Evidence that you are wired for spiritual climates, not worldly noise. Evidence that your discernment is being sharpened. Evidence that heaven has marked you for something that requires all your senses awake. Even the racing heartbeat you feel at random hours is not danger. It's alertness. It's the body responding to a spiritual shift, like a violin string vibrating when another note in the room is played. Your heart races because your spirit hears the frequency. Your breath deepens because your soul needs more room. Psalm 16:7 captures this beautifully. My innermost being instructs me in the night. The inner world teaches the outer world. The body speaks before the mouth ever does. And this radar, this spiritual sensitivity, will only intensify in the days ahead, because what is approaching isn't merely emotional growth or a change of season. It is a calling, a summoning, a divine convergence. And the body reacts to destiny long before destiny arrives. Even Jesus said in Matthew 26:41, "The spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak," revealing that the flesh responds to spiritual moments with trembling, fatigue, sensitivity, and urgency. But here is the half-revealed truth. Heaven has been trying to whisper to you. Your body is not reacting to stress, it's reacting to assignment. That's why nothing feels random. That's why you can't shake these sensations. That's why your spirit feels like it's preparing to step across a threshold you cannot yet see. And maybe quietly, secretly, you've wondered, am I losing myself? Or am I finally meeting the version of me God intended all along? The answer is already moving in your chest. You are awakening. You are shifting. You are being aligned. The radar is active. The signal is getting stronger, and the moment of revelation is closer than you think. You, chosen one, has there been a movement within you lately, so small, so silent, yet enough to make you pause for a moment? Not loud, not violent, but as clear as the slight tremor before a mountain awakens. Your body has changed. Your metabolism has changed. Hunger and satiety have come at the wrong times. Your mood has drifted between calm and intensity. But all of these things are not a breakdown. They are preparations. They are the body of a chosen soul, tuning into a frequency that the world has yet to name. There is a truth that most people never realize. When nature is shaken by a powerful event like a cyclone, a door opens. Not a physical door, but a spiritual slit of light, a window in the spirit, like the moment Ezekiel writes, "The heavens were opened, and I saw visions of God." In moments like these, the veil thins. A passageway appears, and those marked by heaven are always the first to feel that new breath. You, chosen one, that's why your body reacts before your mind can. You sense this movement faster, deeper, more subtly. Like a conductor who notices an out-of-tune moment in an orchestra before the audience does. You were made to sense the first touch. You were given sensitivity in a world accustomed to numbing itself. But let me tell you half the truth. The transformation that is coming is not an external stage. It is a sacred work taking place within. There was no flash of lightning, no thunder like in the old stories. The beginning came in very small things, a shiver that did not come from the cold wind, a silence that was not empty, but felt like lips whispering your name. A slight pressure in the chest, not painful, but like an ancient call knocking on the door of the heart. And somewhere deep inside you, a question arises. Why is this awakening so soothing and yet so gut-wrenching? You breathe in, and your body responds in a language your mind can't yet understand. Science calls it frequency synchronization. Poets call it soul contact. Theologians call it signs. Spiritual architects call it a rebuilding of the foundation. But you, the chosen one, you just know that you feel. And sometimes just feeling is the proof. Then suddenly, a powerful wave of awareness washes over you like a wake-up call. What you are experiencing is not weakness, it is a mark, a silent confirmation that you have been seen from higher realms. Another question hits you, soft but sharp, like the edge of a prophecy. When did your journey become heavier than you could handle? And why do you feel like something is lifting you lately? The transformation within you is like the opening symphony, slow, pulsating, and full of anticipation. Your breathing changes, as if your lungs are relearning a long-forgotten rhythm. A warmth spreads from your back, like light finding its way up your spine. Even your fatigue has changed color. It no longer feels like exhaustion, but like pre-dawn fatigue, the kind that only appears when something new is approaching. Then another hook comes, as deep as the call you tried to ignore. You have not been forgotten. Otherwise, your body would not have called out to the rest of the world. And then a third question appeared, like a breath lost in the air. Why does your heart ache in the quietest moments, even when everything is fine? Maybe the ache isn't a sign of hurt, but a sign of rewriting. The cyclone outside is only the visible part. More important is the invisible wind that has been swirling within your spirit. It is shaking up old things, dropping expired attachments, exposing the core you once hid to survive. And as your inner architecture is being rearranged, you hear the echo of Psalm 42. Deep calls to deep, as if your very bones are singing back. One final question bloomed in that expanding field of light. Could this indescribable feeling to be proof that you have never walked alone? And so, chosen one, as the world adjusts from the cyclone, you are adjusting too. Not sinking, but rising. Not breaking, but opening. Not lost, but called. In this moment, holiness is closer to you than a heartbeat. When you are ready, share what is moving within you. The signals your body is carrying, the subtle vibrations, the touches you cannot explain. Your testimony may be the light that another chosen one has been waiting for in silence. You, chosen one, if you have come this far, it is not by accident. It is not an unconscious habit or a passing curiosity. This is a moment when your soul slows down to receive what it already knows but has no words for. Because when your body changes after the cyclone, when the inner signals awaken like faint calls from a deeper realm, it is not just a biological phenomenon or a fleeting emotion. It is a spiritual movement, an adjustment, an invitation. And that invitation does not come to the masses. It comes to the marked ones, those chosen to feel first, to see first, to hear in silence what the noisy world cannot hear. These days, you may have wondered why you've become so sensitive, why your body has changed in ways that are hard to explain, why a slight pressure on your heart makes you want to stop, take a deep breath, and turn inward. But more importantly, you feel led, if only for a moment. You feel as if something has touched you, not alarming, but reminding you of an old promise your soul heard somewhere long before you were born. And it is that realization that I want to hammer home to you today. The changes in your body are not an inconvenience, they are a confirmation. Acknowledge that you are entering a new wave. Acknowledge that the spiritual door that opens after the cyclone is not just a meteorological change, but a spiritual change. Acknowledge that you, the chosen one, have entered a stage of transformation that not everyone is allowed to enter. There are moments in the sacred history of humanity when heaven vibrates and the souls of the chosen ones vibrate with it. Like a harp tuned to the sound of the universe when someone unseen touches the strings. That is why you feel what those around you do not. That is why you sense a change even when you cannot see it. And that is why the cyclone outside is only an echo of something greater happening inside you. You are not lost. You are not confused. You are not weak. You are just awake. And when awakening comes, it rarely comes in a flash of light. It often begins with small signals, a deeper breath, a weighty silence, a different sleep, a heartbeat that suddenly becomes clear. These are the first bricks of the sacred edifice being built inside you. If you are hearing this and it touches something deeper than words, then know that you are not alone on this journey. There are countless other chosen ones in places you don't see, in circumstances you don't imagine, who are experiencing the same signals. And somehow, we are all here, in this same moment. And here's the last thing you need to hear. Your body isn't warning you about falling. It's telling you that you're being lifted. Rise to a new level of awareness. Rise to a new rhythm. Rise to a role you have been prepared for. Right now, as this message reaches you, I want to invite you to do something small, an act not for this channel, but for the community of souls who are on the same stream of awakening. If you feel this is real, this is right, this is for you, leave a sign. Please like, not as a formality, but as an affirmation that you have heard your calling. Share this video with someone you feel is going through similar movements. Sometimes a small message can be a lifeline for a lost soul. Leave a comment about a body signal you're experiencing, a feeling you can't explain, or something that changed in you after the cyclone. Who knows, your testimony might be the key to someone else in their darkest night. And if you want to continue to be part of these prophetic spiritual messages, subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss anything that's coming your way this season. To everyone who has supported the channel through super thanks or in any other way, I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And to everyone who has never contributed anything other than showing up and listening, I thank you just as much. Because your presence, your openness, the silence you allowed to receive these words is part of the magic. Before I end, I want to leave a blessing just for you, chosen one. May the breath of the divine go before you and straighten the crooked paths. May your inner light be stronger than all the noise outside. May the signals your body feels be a gentle reminder that God is watching, guiding, and protecting you. May your mind find peace in the midst of turmoil, and your soul find strength in its weakest moments. And may the light of the one who chosen you always surround, protect, and sustain you today and in the days to come. Amen.